In this video, you are going to learn how to cycle caffeine with your menstrual cycle. You're going to learn about caffeine's impact on the liver and what PMS symptoms to look out for to understand if you need to pull back off of caffeine. So if you don't know me yet, my name is omegazumpano. I'm an exercise scientist, menstrual cycle educator, and founder of one of the first certifications to help coaches understand how to optimize and balance their clients' hormones using science-backed menstrual cycle health, fitness, and nutrition. And if you have not subscribed to this channel yet, please subscribe using the red subscribe button somewhere below this video. And if you're excited to dive into this, please like the video, and we're gonna dive in now. So the first thing that I want you to understand is that caffeine and estrogen are metabolized by the same enzyme in the liver. That enzyme is called CYP1A2. And if you follow me on Instagram, or if you followed me for a while, you know I talk about this particular thing a lot. So this is important because in the luteal phase, that's about 2 weeks before your period starts, your body begins detoxifying estrogen. And CYP1A2 is responsible for a lot of other things that our body processes in terms of environmental toxins, but estrogen is one of them, and caffeine is one of them. And so if our body has a lot of estrogen to detox and a lot of caffeine, daily caffeine to detox, then that is going to overwhelm our liver, and that may lead to PMS symptoms. And if you saw my post on Instagram about this topic, you might remember this graph that I made that showed us that estrobolome bacteria in the gut is largely responsible for metabolizing estrogen. So if we do not have enough fiber in our diet, this relationship between the gut and the liver with that enzyme that I mentioned is disturbed, and we are just not going to, we're not going to detox estrogen as well as we should. And some PMS symptoms to watch out for that tell you that you need to work on estrogen detox and support the liver just a little bit more are mood changes, anxiety, depression, cramps, breast tenderness, and diarrhea leading up to the period. And those are all estrogen dominant symptoms that tell us that there's probably a little bit too much estrogen. And diarrhea and cramps and headaches too are all combined from estrogen dominance as well as prostaglandins. And prostaglandins are inflammatory bodies that are created in the uterus from too much estrogen, and they can migrate to the gut, causing diarrhea, as well as the head, causing headaches. So where to start when it comes to supporting estrogen detox? Number one, after ovulation, start eating more fiber. So I like recommending to my clients to eat about 30 grams of fiber each day. And if you look at that can be got in the grains you eat, the breads you eat, and the vegetables you eat. And so 30 grams might seem intimidating if you start adding it up in your diet, but it's very, very doable. One thing that I did that I explained in this video is that I reduced my caffeine intake little by little by putting just a little bit of decaf in my caffeinated coffee, and I cut it down from there. And of course, it's important to get a high quality decaf coffee to reduce our exposure to mycotoxins. If you are curious or you don't know where to start with that, leave a comment below and I will help you out with that, okay? Another way to support estrogen detox is to eat food before having your caffeine. And this is something that we should employ throughout the cycle. And this trend has gotten really big on TikTok and Instagram, and could not be more happy about that, because when we eat prior to having our coffee, like I said, we balance our blood sugar. But if we don't, we actually throw our blood sugar completely out of whack. Cortisol increases, and cortisol is not good for any time in the cycle. So regardless of if you are in your luteal phase or if you are starting your period or somewhere near ovulation, breakfast before coffee. And hopefully you're not having too much coffee, okay? The last thing I'll say to this in terms of managing estrogen is pay attention to your PMS. If you have any of those PMS symptoms that I mentioned before, I recommend watching this video on high estrogen and how to work with high estrogen, because there are lots of different ways that we can start addressing it, and this video goes way more in depth. So here is how to cycle caffeine with your cycle. In the luteal phase, have little or no, if you can handle that, caffeine from coffee or tea. And in the follicular and ovulatory phase, you can still have it, but this should be a highly individualized thing. There's no one way fits all in terms of caffeine or in terms of getting, estrogen detoxification. And so this, again, must be highly individualized, and caffeine is an addictive substance. So if we are trying to decrease caffeine in the luteal phase while having it for the entire bleed, follicular, and ovulatory phase, that's going to be much harder. So maybe introducing a little bit more decaf, which I talk about in this video right here, is a good strategy for you. That's how I got myself off caffeine. So if you got something out of this video, please like it and consider sharing it with a friend. If you have not subscribed to this channel yet, please subscribe using the link below. And if you are a coach that wants to learn more about menstrual cycle health, fitness, and nutrition, and be able to be an authority on this subject, watch my free masterclass, which I have linked below. I will see you there. Bye.